Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Thursday, October 3rd, 2019. About to go over NFL Week 5. I haven't gotten through the NHL like I wanted to. I wanted to be done with it by now. I have a feeling there's a lot of 103 on the board. I just looked at the Canadiens and Hurricanes game. And look at this. Again, this is the 103rd NHL season. And the Hurricanes are hosting the Montreal Canadiens, right? Whoops, what did I just do? Let me fix that. And just the first game I look at the top of the schedule. If the Hurricanes win tonight, they're going to stay on 103 regulation losses against the Montreal Canadiens. So just right away, it's like, okay, I wonder how many 103s are on the board. I want to get through these games. I have a feeling there's a lot of 103. Just like last night, 3 out of the 4 games were 102. Again, it's the year of the 103rd NHL season, but it'll also be the 102nd Stanley Cup. So I'm going to go through this before I take any calls. I want to present the information that's here for Thursday Night Football. Some interesting things. Again, it's another tight Thursday night, but let's go over it. So, Seattle's a 1.5-point favorite at home. The over-under's at 49. Washington equals 49. Hard to make a call on the over-under. We know the TNF numbers are 40 and 41, but Seahawks is 48, Rams is 51, so that hovers on both sides of the over-under. Los Angeles Rams is 52. You have 52 date numerology. They're honoring Paul Allen before the game, who died last year, October 15th, the owner of the Seahawks and Portland Trail Blazers. From his death to today is 353 days later, which is the 71st prime number. Paul Gardner Allen equals 71. If you run it in reverse, it equals 91 as well, like CenturyLink Field. If the Seahawks win, they're going to be 9-1 on Thursday night football. 9-1 on Thursday night football since 2010. That's the stat that NFL.com has up, that they are 8-1 since 2010 on Thursday night. The Seahawks, they could improve to 9-1. Paul Gardner Allen, 91. CenturyLink Field, 91. The name Allen alone, the surname is 91. It's all about Paul Allen tonight. That could be a good sign for the Seahawks. The thing to think about is if they lost, according to the NFL.com stat, they'd be 8-2. And, of course, Seattle's 82. So we got the 52 date numerology, Los Angeles Rams 52. We got 16 date numerology, Los Angeles 53, the 16th prime. The Rams are 18-23 versus the Seahawks in the regular season. Of course, Seattle equals 19. It's 2019. Seahawks equals 24. If they split this year, they'd be 19-24 versus the Seahawks, which would be pretty appropriate. The next game will be NFL Week 14. That happens to be a date with 23 numerology. That brings the possibility of the Rams winning tonight and staying on those 23 losses versus the Seahawks going into that game. It's possible they could split on each other's field. Last year, early in the season, Goff had proven to be better on the road than he was at home. The Seahawks are 14-7 versus the Rams in the regular season at home. 14. TNF's 14. However, if they won tonight, they'd get that 15th win, improving to 15-7, like 157, the 37th prime. Los Angeles is 37. You know, it doesn't have to come tonight, but Rams does equal 15. The Rams are 8-14 at the Seahawks all time, including the playoffs. Seattle's 19, the 8th prime. Rams are 19-23 versus the Seahawks all time. So there's that 23 again. Seattle's 19. For McVay, the game's on the 253rd day of his age. The National Football League's 253, 22nd triangular number. Goff, he's 27-15 in the regular season. Seattle does equal 28 if he picked up that 28th win. We do have the 16 date numerology as well. He could get his 16th loss in the regular season or his 16th away win. That could play either way. If he lost, he'd be 15-7 away. Again, like 157, the 37th prime. Goff is 4-2 versus the Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks is 43, but at the same time, Los Angeles Rams is 52. We do have the 52 date numerology as well. Goff is 2-1 at Seattle. He's 2-1 on Thursday. He's 11-4 versus the NFC West. McVay is 27-9 in the regular season. Again, McVay and Goff have nearly the same records. So both of them could pick up their 28th win tonight. Seattle is 28. Would be a good location to do it. If the Rams split this week and next week they play 49ers. 49ers does equal 42. The Rams would be 4-2 on the season. And keep in mind, whoever wins tonight will be 4-1. Seahawks or Rams, whoever wins will be 4-1. TNF's 41. LA's 41. You can make the argument either way. Now, Pete Carroll, the game's on his 19th day of his age. Seattle's 19. Russell Wilson, his next all-time win is 87. We're going to talk about Russell Wilson's tight end tonight. If you haven't looked at the notes, Russell Wilson's tight end has an awesome connection. But Wilson, his next win is 87 all-time. Seahawks equals 87. It'll also, his next loss all-time is 43. Seattle Seahawks is 43. He's 50-14 at home. So Rams equals 15 and 51. This is part of what makes tonight's game razor tight. Could get the 51st or the 15th, but it is TNF. TNF equals 14. In the regular season, Wilson's on 37 losses. Los Angeles is 37. He's on 13 losses at home. TNF is 13-14. He could get his 46th home win. Thursday does equal 46. He's 6-8 versus the Rams. I almost want to note that Cleveland equals 78 because they used to be the Cleveland Rams once upon a time, and Seattle is playing Cleveland next week. So I think there's some riddle there. The old Rams were in Cleveland. Maybe I'll just jot it down. People might be like, what? Rams used to be Cleveland. Used to be in Cleveland. So Wilson is 4-3 versus the Rams at home. Again, Los Angeles 53, Seattle 44. This is why tonight is very tough. Continuous trend for Thursday night football. Wilson is 7-1 on Thursday. This is going to be his only Thursday night game this season. So if he did win, he'd get his 8th win on Thursday night football. Seattle equals 19, the 8th prime. So that's got me thinking, if he did win, he'd be 8-1 on Thursday. Russell Wilson equals 81. And if Russell Wilson does win tonight, it will be his 8th straight win on Thursday night football. We've seen a lot of streaks of 8 in 2019. 19 is the 8th prime number. Seattle equals 19 as well. 19, the 8th prime number. Wilson could win his 8th straight on Thursday night football. Carroll, he's 92-55-1 with the Seahawks. Something needs to be said about that. Thursday night football equals 257, the 55th prime. And for his all-time stats, he could pick up his 95th loss. Thursday night football also equals 95. The joys of Thursday night football. Again, I do like regular season stats more than all-time stats when there's a sync with the regular season. Seahawks have done well with Pete Carroll under primetime. Martin called in earlier and fed us some stats. 26-5-1 the Seahawks are under Pete Carroll. 17-2 at home. 8-1 on Thursday night football since 2010, which is also the stat up on NFL.com. If the Seahawks lost this week and next week, they would become 3-3 in Cleveland. We know Cleveland in 33 hits hard. If the Seahawks won this week and next week, they could also get to 5-1. And you could make an argument for them splitting the next two games too, but Cleveland does have the 33 and the 51 connection. Seahawks also share the 33 and 51 connection. Because of the letters in Seahawks, the values are 24, 33, 42, 51. And if you run it in reverse, 48. But just looking at numbers that could play out. So this is from NFL.com. This is what they have up there at the bottom of their thing. Seahawks are 8-1 in Thursday primetime games since 2010. And again, Seattle is 82 just using the alphabetic order. Seattle's 19 using the alphabetic order and rules of numerology. Where they play, though, CenturyLink Field equals 91. And again, Paul Gardner Allen being honored tonight, 91. His surname Allen is also 91. Again, he's being honored before the game starts. You got a 5:20 start time on a 52 date numerology. Los Angeles Rams 52. Just a heads up on this site. This site right here, it must not be... Hold on. Is that gonna... This site must not be correct, and this could be what's screwing us up on Thursday Night Football. If you count the Seahawks games on here, I'll just do it real fast. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2. They beat the Rams December 15th. What year was that? 2016. Maybe I should measure from that game. But that made them 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, and then that's all they have. So everyone else is showing these different stats. Pro Football Reference has Russell Wilson with more stats. So something's wrong with the Thursday Night Football stats on here. So I just wanted to point that out. It shows him at 6-2 going back to 2006. So that can't be right. Something's missing from this site. All right. This game was at home December 15th, 2016. Rams Seahawks. Let's just see how long ago that was. (1,022 days). Kind of reminds me of 122. Seattle's on the 122nd meridian. 146 weeks as well. Okay. CBS Sports has this stat. The Seahawks are an incredible 15-3-1 against the spread in home primetime games since Pete Carroll took over in 2010. We have the 16-date numerology. Los Angeles equals 53, the 16th prime. So, things to think about there. With regards to the position players, the Seahawks position players, DK Metcalf, number 14. We know TNF's 14, right? So I'll just make that note here. TNF 14, Seattle Seahawks equals 43, the 14th prime. It's 293 days after his birthday, 72 days to his upcoming, and yeah, that doesn't sync with Wilson. So nothing screams out about that. He does have the number, though, for TNF. But Will Dissly, the tight end, he wears the number 88, right? His name Dissly equals 88, and today is his 88th day of his age. It's also 87 days after his birthday, and Seahawks equals 87. So he's got the birthday sync with the jersey number and his name and the team Seahawks. He's having a pretty good season so far, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns. So he's averaging, what is that, about 45 yards a game through the first 4 weeks and a touchdown a game. But by far his best sync of the year, this game right here on Thursday Night Football. Tyler Lockett, number 16. We got the 16-date numerology. It's 5 days after his birthday or his 6th day of his age. Makes me wonder if he's going for 6 points tonight. Keep in mind when you write out 6, it equals 16. You might recall that riddle from last year's Super Bowl. The name Lockett is 103. It's October 3rd, 10/3. Lockett's also 40 like TNF. You got the 16-date numerology to go with his jersey number. So far this year, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think a lot of people are expecting more from Tyler Lockett. So the surname does go with the date in TNF. The jersey number goes with the date numerology. I just wonder if he does score 6 points on his 6th day of his age. There's some rhyme and reason to that. Chris Carson, the running back. Chris Carson equals 55. Thursday Night Football's 257, the 55th prime. Chris Carson also equals 71. Recall Paul Allen died 353 days ago, the 71st prime. His full name, Paul Gardner Allen, equals 71. And so far this year, he has 67 rushing yards and 100 receiving yards, 3 combined touchdowns. Russell Wilson, he comes into the game with 8 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns, 82 like Seattle. Makes me wonder if maybe he could toss 3, because Thursday Night Football equals 112. Maybe if his stats were 11 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Consider the Rams gave up a lot of points at home last week. So, something to think about. Okay, for the Rams, number 18, Cooper Kupp. His full name equals 61, the 18th prime, probably why he wears 18. He's got the 55 in his name. Cooper Kupp equals 55 and 44. Seattle's 44. Again, 55 connects to Thursday Night Football. He comes in with 14 career touchdowns, though, so I wonder if he could stay there. Another argument is 16 date numerology. Again, we know how 16 connects to Los Angeles. Tyler Higbee, he wears the number 89. Los Angeles, California's 89. Today leaves 89 days left in the year. He has 82 receiving yards on the season coming into Seattle, 82. Be something if he got skunked and stayed on that. Brandon Cooks, it's 8 days after his birthday. Again, Seattle's 19, the 8th prime. Brandon Cooks equals 199, the 46th prime. Thursday's 46. Robert Woods, his name has the 55 connection to go with Thursday Night Football. And Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley the second does equal 149, the 35th prime. Thursday's 35. I didn't see really any killer alignments with the Rams for the fantasy football. Again, the most strong synchronicity in my opinion is Will Dissly. Again, we've seen it multiple times this year. When the birthday syncs up with the jersey number, good sign for that player. So, but again, it's Thursday Night Football. It's razor tight. I have not done very well on Thursday Night Football. So, again, I would encourage to exercise patience. I do think the strongest riddle on the board is Russell Wilson going for his 8th straight win on Thursday Night Football. We've seen a lot of streaks of 8 this year. It's been a consistent pattern, 19 the 8th prime. So, a lot of the riddles being this or that's the one thing that stands out. Also the fact of the Paul Allen ritual and how his full name equals 91 and how his last name equals 91 and how the football field that the Seahawks play at. Remember to use the cheat sheet to get this information. So CenturyLink Field, it's got the 91 connection. If the Seahawks win tonight, they'd be 9-1. Of course, the other concern is Seattle is 82, another number that plays there. So, big game for the Seahawks fans. I'm going to open up the phone line now if anybody wants to call in and say anything. And while I'm taking calls, I'm also going to just try to move through hockey to see if we can find some low-hanging fruit. Let me grab the phone real quick. Okay, I got the phone in my hand if anybody wants to phone in. And while I'm taking calls on the football game, I'm just going to move through the hockey stats here to see what's what. So again, the one game that I looked at, I'm trying to spy 103s. Hurricanes are on 103 losses in regulation. Remember, overtime losses don't go in that stat. Versus the Canadiens, again, 103rd NHL season. It's October 3rd, 10/3. So, Caller?
Hey, Zach, how's it going today?
It's going well. How are you?
Say, did you know that Paul G. Allen is getting inducted in the Ring of Honor today for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah?
Okay, thank you. I just saw that on the news, so thank you.
All right. Take care, man. Caller?
Hey, Zach, it's Gematria Database.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. I just wanted to let you know I did make a couple of tutorial videos for the database.
Very cool. I will check that out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's on the side of the database. You just go to the front page or the main page, and then you look to the right. It'll say tutorials, and then there's 2 of them that I have so far. But I'm gonna put more of them out. There's just I only have so much time.
Got it. Yeah, you've done great work. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Also on the book, as far as the audiobook, I got 4 chapters out with the music, and I think 7 chapters out total.
Awesome.
I read up to 12, and so I recorded that many, but I've only edited up to 7 so far.
Very cool. I appreciate you putting in the time. Thank you.
No problem. It's an excellent book. Many props. Well worth it.
All right, friend. Thanks.
I love it, and it's full of a bunch of information, archaic information, a whole bunch of stuff like that. I'm an artist, and I like to blend all things like that. So I really like what you put out. It's really cool. Anyway, I'll let you go, and I'll be listening.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Everybody, do your research.
All right. Thanks again, friend.
Bye.
All right. Take care. Okay. So I guess it's kind of hard to go through the games and do the phone at the same time. The phone line is open. Gonna just take a peek at the Jets-Rangers game here and see, do we have any 103 on the board or anything that goes with the... All right, Winnipeg Jets, 63 games played, 29, 22, 11. No, so we don't have that 103 connection here. All right, I'm just going to keep scanning to see if we can pick up some games with some 103s. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Hey, in regards to the kicker from the Buccaneers that missed that chip shot and the Giants won that game, he actually was playing, when he played against the Rams, he went like 9 for 9 in kicks, including extra points, and 4 for 4 on field goals, including a 58-yard kick.
Yeah. Goes to show.
I mean, can you make, day and night, right?
Yeah, that's how they do it. He gets to be the hero the next week.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, though. It's crazy. Also, something to be mindful, you're talking about Chris Carson. Usually, as far as game strategy, it's the game right now. It's kind of crazy because the way the line started, it was first it was the favorite was the Rams, and after the game happened where the Rams lost, the line just switched the other side. So it's kind of like more like a pick 'em right now. So it's like 50-50 because everybody who played the Rams, they don't want to play the Rams again after they lost the money, as far as from the betting better point of view.
Right.
So they play last night, that Sunday night, and then they have to travel all the way. So in this short week, so it's kind of like, it looks like. So I don't know, the narrative is trying to get for the Seahawks, but also the Seahawks, they have the running back Chris Carson. He's been the lead back. Usually they have the other complement running backs that share the ball, and it's the backup to Chris Carson is Rashad Penny, and this is his latest. Coach Pete Carroll said Thursday that Penny will be available Thursday versus the Rams. So Penny missed Seattle last 2 games due to a lingering hamstring injury, but he's now appeared to be full health and ready to retake the field. The 2018 first-round pick stands to play his usual role as a complement to backup mate Chris Carson during Thursday night football game. So, and being that this is a short week, so I'm thinking and it's still early in the season, the coach, Cattle, he's going to probably rest up a bit Chris Carson and give more of a lead role to Rashad Penny. But you might look him up, though. I think he wears number 20.
Yeah,
so,
he does. It's 243 days after his birthday, which is that number that has that sync with 54. I'll plug that
that's something
in.
to look out.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Izzy.
No problem.
All right, take care, man. So I see, yeah, he is making his appearance. $243 days after his birthday. I'll get that in here. Again, 243 has that relationship with 54. Russell Wilson equals 54. His full name's 87, like Seahawks. Huh. And let's see. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing, man?
Doing well, how are you?
Doing all right, thanks for asking. This is a weird question to ask, but would it be okay if I asked you a question about one of the Sunday games? Because I'm still learning this decoding thing, and I want your opinion on something before I go any further with it.
Yeah.
Would that be okay? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, man. So, I want to ask you about the Falcons-Texans game. So, I know that Dan Quinn had a riddle to lose because of the numbers. Because of, what was it? Where is it? Here we go. Houston, 32. He can get his 32nd regular season loss. And Texans equals 34. He can get his 34th all-time loss. And the Texans can improve to 3-2 because of Kansas City equals 32 and Chiefs equals 32 and Houston equals 32, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking a little bit ahead, and I was looking at Matt Ryan's record. His next game is against the Cardinals. So if he beats Houston, he will go into the Cardinals game with 104 regular season wins and 75 losses. Here's my question. Is this a significant riddle? Because if he beats Houston and beats Arizona, his record will perfectly reflect Arizona Cardinals numbers, which is 105 and 75.
That's what Ryan's record would be, 105 and 75 if he beat the Cardinals?
Yeah, so if he wins his next two games, his record will be 105 and 75 in the regular season. And that record perfectly reflects Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, that is a really great
75.
observation. All right, I'm going to have to think about that one. So I still have a lot more decoding to do, but yeah, that's a great observation. That could be the riddle. So yeah, that's worth consideration.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, thank you, man. I'm sorry if I wasted time, but thank you so much. I was just really curious about that.
Yeah, that's a good observation. I appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, take care.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, we'll do. See you. Okay. Yeah, I still got to go over the games a whole lot more. All right, so Rashad Penny hasn't put up a lot of stats so far, but he's been getting healthy. 3 touchdowns, 499 yards for a career. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. All right, I'm coming back. I'm scanning the hockey games here to see how many 103s are on the board. The first game of the night has a 103. If the Hurricanes win the game, they'll stay on 103 losses in regulation. Just in case you don't follow hockey, Hurricanes can stay on 103 losses by winning or by losing in overtime. So either way would keep them on 103. I'm thinking the more symbolic thing to do would be to win. Because if you lose in overtime in hockey, it goes down as an overtime loss rather than a regulation loss. But again, I want to scan all these games here to see how many 103s are on the board. I'd like to see that somebody can pick up their 103rd win, because I think that would be an encouraging stat. So, Pittsburgh Penguins, that's what I'm on. They are playing the Buffalo Sabres. 89. All right, so they don't have it either. 62. I'm also just trying to see if anything jumps out with the date numerology. They're on 80. They're on 89 wins. Today leaves 89 days left in the year. Make a note here. No 103. Penguins have 89 wins versus Sabres. Today leaves 89 days in the year. Okay. Tampa Bay Lightning, Panthers. Let's see. And the other thing I got to scan is the NHL cheat sheet. It's the Lightning's 27th season. 103 is the 27th prime. I'm going to make a note about that. Lightning's 27th season. 103, 27th prime. And let's see. Playing the Florida Panthers. No 103. Should also look for the 103 points too. They're on 52 losses on a 52 date numerology. 52 regulation losses. All right. As the hockey season moves on, there's a lot of synchronicity with points, season points, and the gematria of teams. And again, I put out the NHL cheat sheet. I'll link it again. But gonna have to wait till we get a little bit into the season where those synchronicities start hitting with the points. So let's see, Nashville Predators. Okay, they are facing Minnesota Wild. They could get their 89th points today. I see that. All right. No 103. Predators can pick up 89th points versus Wild. Today leaves 89 days left in the year. And you know what? I'm going to rewind because I think I forgot to look at the points for the Rangers versus the Jets and for the Sabres versus the Penguins. Go back and do that real quick. Rangers versus Jets. They're on 70 points. And the Winnipeg Jets, see from their perspective. They both have 70 points against each other. It's interesting. Okay, Penguins, go back and fix that. Buffalo Sabres, 218 points. Oh, did I jot that down that they're on 89 wins? Yeah, I did. All right, Buffalo Sabres, let's see what they got going on. $177 points. Okay. All right, Dallas Stars. Let's see. Dallas Stars versus Boston Bruins. No 103. But from the Boston Bruins perspective, Dallas Stars. All right. All right, I didn't see anything that really stood out. Colorado Avalanche. They're playing who? Calgary Flames. All right, doesn't jump. Calgary Flames. There's the Colorado Avalanche. Okay, I don't see the sync there. Funny, just that first game, I was thinking there would be quite a few 103 connections today. I guess just the first game. Unless it's right here, let's see. Coyotes and Ducks. I don't think Coyotes have been around long enough, though, to have that many wins. Arizona Coyotes. What's interesting about this game is if they beat them, they'd get their 173rd points against the Coyotes, which is the 40th prime, and this is the 40th season. I'm just going to jot it down as a note. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Ducks could pick up 173rd points versus Coyotes. 173, 40th prime. Coyotes 40th season. Okay. Anaheim Ducks. Let's look. Oh, I forgot to look it up from the Coyotes' perspective. Oops. $122. Okay. So I just want to scan the cheat sheet real quick and see who's got the 102 and 103 connections. Boston Bruins. I know Coyotes got a 102 connection. Buffalo Sabres. Detroit Red Wings is 89. I don't think they were playing today, though. Florida Panthers. Montreal Canadiens has the 102 connection. And I'm going to build up this cheat sheet a lot more. Just a matter of getting time. Hard to come by. All right, let's see. Okay. See. Okay, still looking. Who remembers the Philadelphia Flyers heart attack game from last year? Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right. So far, no 103s, just one 102, the Montreal Canadiens. Nashville's got that 102 connection. Okay. I'm sure Nashville will be a contender this year. They were one of the best teams last year. Disappointed in the playoffs, though. Right. Coyotes got the 102. We knew that. Huh. Maybe nobody's got a 103 connection. That's interesting. Let's see. Right. Well, I'll still have to do the stadiums and stuff. It could be something through a stadium, but yeah, not a single team actually equals 103. Thought there'd be at least one. So the Canadiens, the Coyotes, and Nashville are the three teams with the 102 connection. Again, it's the 103rd NHL season, but it's the 102nd Stanley Cup. National Hockey League equals 102, and the season began on October 2nd. 3 out of the 4 games yesterday for the opening day had riddles with 102 where they could hit, and in 2 out of those 3 games they did hit. Well, there's also some teams that's their 102nd season, like the Maple Leafs, who won yesterday. So that's the other sync that could be, besides just the Gematria. But okay, just for the quick scan for NHL, things I'll be watching for tonight. Do the Hurricanes beat the Canadiens and stay on 103 losses by winning? Again, that's the tricky thing about hockey, is you can stay on those 103 regulation losses by winning or by losing in overtime. So, to me, again, the more symbolic thing would be to win to stay on those 103 losses, which would favor the Hurricanes. And the Penguins are on 89 wins versus the Sabres. Today leaves 89 days left in the year. Let me look at, let me double check with the Sabres here, see if anything else jumps out. Buffalo Sabres and Penguins. Again, I'm planning to keep a quick eye on the NHL for the start of the season, and once it gets a few weeks into it and the points start to build up and you can start to catch those synchronicities, spend more time on hockey. But I kind of just want to eyeball the early part of the season and see if we can pick up on any kind of rituals. Okay, so staying on the 89 wins because there's 89 days left in the year, that's not a super strong riddle. I'd investigate this game more, but going to watch that. The Lightning, one of the top teams in the NHL last year, but got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the 8th seed, if I remember right. See what they do this year. Could be like a Virginia college basketball types thing, because it is their 27th season. Strong relationship with 103 and 27. 103, the 27th prime. The Lightning are on 52 regulation losses. They could stay on that, on the 52 date numerology. Looks like they're pretty good favorites at home. Whoops. Let's see here. Panthers. Lightning. Tampa Bay's 25. You got the 25 date numerology as well. I'll add that to the note. Tampa Bay equals 25. 25 date numerology. Okay. We saw the Predators could get their 89th points against the Wild on the day leaving 89 days left in the year. I like that riddle better than staying on the Penguins riddle of staying on the 89 wins by being defeated. So, let's see. Bruins and Stars, nothing was there. And in this thing, Ducks could pick up their 173rd points versus the Coyotes. These teams are going to play each other again, though. I'd look down the schedule further if you wanted to take a stab at this game just to make sure they don't meet in the future on a date with 40 numerology. If you looked down their season schedule and saw, let me see how fast I can do it. Coyotes schedule. Let's see, does that open up the whole year? I'll scan Ducks and see when they play them all this year. Okay. Whoops, what did I just do? All right. Coyotes beat the Ducks in the preseason. Ducks beat them as well. They split. Okay. They got a game there. They play again November 27th, which is a date with 50 numerology. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing, man? This is just on again. Hey, I'm going to follow the Arizona Coyotes this year. I think they're going to have a special season. Coyotes equals 102, and today, you said today's as a 103 connection, right?
Today's October 3rd, 10/3.
Yeah, today is also 27 weeks till Rick Touche's next birthday. But I got some notes here. I don't think Arizona's going to win this game in particular. So in the head-to-head between Arizona and the Ducks, Arizona can stay on 53 wins versus the Ducks. 53 is the 16th prime. It's a 16 date. Arizona can pick up the 65th loss versus the Ducks. Rick Touche equals 65. Anaheim can stay on 37 losses versus Arizona. 37 is the 12th prime. It's 12 date numerology. Right now, Anaheim is on 75 wins versus Arizona. Arizona Coyotes equals 75. Coach Eakins of Anaheim can get his 37th overall win, 12 date numerology, 37 12th prime. Eakins would stay on 63 losses. 307 is the 63rd prime. 307 is a lot like 37. And he would get to 88 points. Overall, he has a pretty bad record, but he just became the coach of Anaheim. There's a connection with 11 today. Arizona and Anaheim, AA 11. And there's a bunch of 11. So today's 6 months and 6 days till Rick Touche's birthday. It's the 11th triangular. There's 89 left days in the year. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci. Touche can get his 77th loss against the Ducks. Ducks equals 77. He'll stay on 121 wins, square root of 11. I mean, there's just a bunch of, Anaheim and Coyotes both equal 33. So there's like this big 11 tribute between Arizona and Anaheim. And yeah, it looks like Lock City.
Well, those are great observations. So
yeah, I'm gonna be following the Coyotes though, because I heard you talking yesterday about the depth of the guy that owns the St. Louis Cardinals and
Bill Bidwell,
yeah, to Arizona.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there could be a special season too, because Coyotes equals 102. The opening day of the season, the coach. There's 27 weeks left till the opening day of the season for them. I guess their first game.
All right.
27 weeks to the next birthday of the coach. So.
Yeah, great observations. Great observations. All right, I appreciate it, Fran.
All right, man.
All right, take care, man. See you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, Thursday night football's really tight. The go over those notes. To me, the most standout stat is how Russell Wilson can win 8 straight on Thursday night football. 8 straight's been a good friend to us in 2019. So I got to continue to ride that wave. But again, exercising patience is what I would personally do here, just based on the narrative, how it's such a teeter-totter with so many of the riddles. But, if you got to stick a fork in it, use your gut. Thursday night football has been my Achilles heel for now going on more than a year. It used to be my bread and butter. But it's because the riddles are different. 2 years ago, they used to just, Thursday night football was a gimme every week. Now it seems that they stack layered on layers. So anyway, to me, the top riddle on the board is that 8 straight. And again, they're honoring Paul Allen by the numbers. His full name equals 91. His last name equals 91. The Seahawks home stadium equals 91. If they win tonight, they're going to be 9-1 on Thursday night football in the Pete Carroll era. The flip side of that is they could fall to 8-2. Seattle's 82. So I'm going to leave it there. I got to take my lady somewhere, and then I'm going to come right back, and I'm going to turn on the game and see if I hear them throw out any crucial stats. Just like how the other week, how we caught that thing about Cam Newton right before the game, which told us, better take Bucks to cover here, which they did. So leave it there. Tomorrow we will do a live stream, all sports again. Realize all the notes for the games are up on the wall. Baseball postseason. Some of these things to look for in the NHL. This Canadiens-Hurricanes game is about to get underway. It's the only game with a 103 on the board. 103rd NHL season, October 3rd. So I think we'll see this ritual come out here. And then we'll be back at it tomorrow, same time. So leave it there. And look for any updates on the Patreon wall if I see anything that they're throwing out there prior to Thursday night football. And if it's super crucial, I'll make a short video to make sure the points communicated clearly. So we'll leave it there. Until next time.